still thinking about what.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
look at this.
it's party time.
Oh my God, the kids are out.
Oh, fun on our playground.
Yeah,
It's time to play.
Oh.
yeah, party time.
Boys are back in town.
We need the background music. That's what we need next time.
I like Charlie's Angels. That was great.
I know.
Michael's
That was
Angels.
Michael's Angels.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the luckiest guy in the room? Such a pleasure to be here with you three. Honestly, Indira, you
We get
feel
through it.
like one of us. Every time I hear you speak at our Zooms, I'm like, yep.
Yay. I know all of your messages on the audios that we do. I just want to save in a meditation archive. Like they're just beautiful, the way you speak.
The video froze when I said Charlie's Angels. I didn't get what you guys said.
Oh, how funny. We're like doting over you.
Uh,
We're doting. Yeah.
all of you guys are amazing. I mean, I love Leela's readings. They're just so pointing. Sometimes I just go to bed at night listening to that, and Michael's meetings are just amazing. I love the topics, and Ginny, forget about it. You're
Forget about it.
Forget about
Forget
it.
about
forget
it.
about it. You really get to the point. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
a lot of clarity. Mhm.
Oh, yes. Yes. I love the way you speak. I was saying that I just want to save all your audios in like a meditation archive. They're just
Oh.
beautiful. They're all a meditation.
Mm.
So this is the meditation. Every sound, every sensation is the meditation.
It doesn't have to practice anything.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
It's takes no effort.
Yeah. Can't attain it because you are it.
I wrote something down again.
Thank
yeah.
you. What
Yay.
a treat.
Maybe it'll be a talking point. Uh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
what makes beauty so beautiful? What makes love so lovely? What inspires expansion, joy, bliss, awe, and wonder to arise? The very thing that allows these pleasant states to be is the fact that they always end. All states are fleeting, they come and go,
Mm.
no matter how they are preferred or not preferred. As humans, we are wired to seek pleasure. We want to eat and make love, and these are rewarded with feel-good chemicals and the survival of our species. This seeking pleasure is natural and inherently innocent. But make no mistake, it is that which is not preferred that literally creates the euphoria of that which we do prefer. Both are seeming, both of these seeming polarities are required for this game to play. There is no such thing as a sustained state of bliss for this human experience, and that is a good thing. It makes the expansion expansive. If anyone tells you they are in a constant state of bliss, don't believe them. You are bliss itself, free to play in polarities, free to be this, bound, lost, and found.
Beautiful. Wow.
Gorgeous.
Stunning.
Did you write that, Leela?
Yeah, I just wrote it before we got on.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She just
Beautiful.
whipped it out.
Yeah, just had a little thought, no big
I love
whoop.
it.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean. It kind of drips off all three of you, regardless of what you say.
Mhm.
Yay, we're dripping.
Yeah, oozing. Oozing, and it has a valve or a dial for convenience, like a
That's
samadhi
the
switch.
Mahdi switch.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah, this bliss that you already are, this conscious presence that's indescribable, that's prior to word, prior to thought, that just is just pure beingness, pure consciousness, this screen, this substratum from which everything appears, from which the images dance, that you're illuminating. The whole conundrum was misidentifying that with the finite sensations, with solely being the avatar, which created that illusion or that veil of subject object, when all there was just one subject, one perceiving, one encompassing, all inclusive in loveness. So you know that is the bliss. And but it so innocently was associated with the object of attention, which is what we thought was the source of happiness or pleasure, what gives me pleasure, which seemed temporary. But this is eternal. This screen from which the pleasure and pain appear and disappear, is always content, is uninvolved, it's untouched, going nowhere. And it's always been this. It's always home. But yeah, the movie appears to change, and the images disintegrate and disappear, and aren't even happening.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just like what Ginny was saying is pretty much what you were writing, Leela, at the very end about it's gone. It never happened. And there's such a relief in that, like whatever the body does, whatever it does, or it engages, whatever it engages in, it's just forgotten. I mean, certainly there's memories that arise from it, but there's no more like meaning to it or putting meaning to it. It's not personal, and that kind of loses its legs because that uh, putting so much attention onto thoughts for so long and forgetting, negating innocently this beingness, this here-ness appeared and seemed as if it had legs, which felt solid, which felt ugh, yucky, artificial, not right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
something was off. Something, which is that resistance, that initial resistance, is the catalyst to wake up. It's like that opening. It's like, and that the word ignorance is ignoring. It's ignoring this pure aliveness, and getting distracted, outsourcing outwardly. And that pure awareness locked on to the thoughts. When there was a misidentity with the avatar, then it was my thoughts, and I'm happy and I'm sad and I'm hungry and I'm lonely and all of those things. And it was just like that false persona, this just from that simple misidentification, which was only a thought, only a concept. And it's so simple. It's just so simple and so malleable and healable, because it already is. It's already realized. You can't attain this. You already are this conscious presence that just is. And so all it was just that innocent misidentification as that all-inclusive aliveness solely with the body and thoughts, which appeared to limit you as the limitless, which that discomfort was the alarm clock. It was the intuition screaming, no, not separate, not real. This isn't even happening. It's a dream. But it's all so perfect and beautiful. No doer already, no one doing it. It's just like a dream at night, just spontaneously unfolding. And you're not even in the movie, not even in the dream.
It's very much like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an innocent claiming energy that is a pattern in nature, just like a season or anything else that's natural. It just sort of plays itself out.
I love that about the movie screen because if I'm watching Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic and I think I'm really on that ship, I'm not going to enjoy it. But if it's seen as just a movie, the play
Yeah.
of the play of Leela.
And you're kicked back with your feet propped up on the seat ahead of you, eating popcorn. And you're unaffected by the characters having their heart broken. It's beautiful, it's playful, it's amazing, and it's just singing to itself, serenading through every sensation, through even pain,
Yeah.
all of it.
There's compassion here for the character that was never here before. So much compassion and love for the Michael character. When,
Mm-hmm.
I think before for most of us, the character was hated.
Mm. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the scam of should and shouldn't, right or wrong.
Good and bad. That's not here, like, yeah, that just dropped. And so there's an easy seeing of how she did the best she could with what she had. It couldn't have been any other way. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
look back at the character and what she did for a long time, seeming long time, it's perfect, all of it. And it's funny because I can talk to people today where there would be a judgment and I would be like, well, it's okay. You know, you could start all over. Like yeah, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's perfect.
you can't find that awkward person that you disdain that you think you are when you look for it.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't find an illusion. It's not even there.
It's like,
So,
what,
oh, go ahead.
Michael, no, go for it.
Well, I was wanting to let the cat out of the bag about yesterday, how we all wept, the triplets, the three of us cried. And we'd never done that. And we
Oh,
were we
beautiful.
were talking to each other, and
Hmm.
out of nowhere, Leela and I had a good cry unexpectedly, and then I get on the horn with Jenny, and she's crying. And I got to tell you, there's something so healing.
It
Really,
is.
there's an honesty
Uh,
that just being broken to tears that because I felt it coming on. Like I was with Leela and she was, and then I teared up a little, but suddenly it was like a tidal wave was beginning to come because I
oh,
started
that's
telling a
awesome.
story, as happens, her story of compassion sparked mine when I felt.
Hmm.
And suddenly I go, oh my God, I'm gonna start bawling and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah, me and Michael were discussing stories from our past that just came up in conversation. Um, that traumas, attached to that, and I could feel, the tears coming, and I was trying not to cry. Nobody likes to just cry, but it's, those things can still come up. The idea that awakeness or this perspective of wholeness can wash everything away to the point to where nothing just bothers you anymore, or you don't have anger or frustration or overwhelm or you name it. That is a misconception. And I believed that when I was seeking for a long time, that this would fix me in all the ways. But it does become impersonal and much, much lighter.
Hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's like right up my tree what you just said. There was such an expectation that this was gonna I was it's so funny when I think about it, but um that liberation or enlightenment would uh make me blissful all the time, and whatever issues or problems or so-called problems that I had in my daily life, that would just wash away, and I would be like a monk on a mountain and just that's it and blissed out. But that's not what this is about at all. There can be frustration, there can be triggers that come up here. Work is like the best place for me to see all this stuff come up. And
Beautiful.
I've been this whole year, and also I remember entertaining the thought that, well, maybe if I did something else different, then it was just a conditional. If I did something different, then it will bring me to this. And it's not that at all. It's so different. It's not what I had expected. It's full on emotions that arise here. Anger, frustration, like in a moment or even 10 minutes, of anger that will arise and just fell through, and then it's forgotten. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because what you resist persists. So when there's no resistance, everything's allowed. It's like a homecoming, everything's home.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
know that there's no entertaining the story of it, that which is what creates a resentment. So
And
it
ownership. Yeah, ownership,
yeah.
doership. Yeah, whenever there was a claiming or an owning, that fear sensation comes through as the intuitive alarm system that's screaming, no, this isn't real, this isn't happening, this isn't separate, this is not you, this is false identification. It's just alerting anytime there was fear, just like when there was believing in the boogeyman, you know
Yeah.
that alarm system screams.
yeah, you usually feel it in your torso or maybe your head, but it's we label those intense sensations as it's, I shouldn't be feeling this. We,
Mm-hmm.
we run to the mind and dissociate and tell a story about it instead of feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a little voice that's saying, what you're thinking is not true. And, and it's like alarm, alarm.
And
But
you're not the doer, you're not this.
Mhm.
You're not even in the body.
And now it's different because I don't anticipate that.
Mm.
I don't sit around and think about how to change it. I see that
Mm-hmm.
it's not happening in the moment. So there's no anticipation and it's completely gone when it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Just full on bam and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Bingo.
it's just doing itself.
Mm.
No one's doing it.
Mm. That's the relief.
Mm-hmm.
There's no effort.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas disguised as a person, there was effort, or there's seeming effort.
Mm-hmm.
There was a trying. Here, it's just full on emotions that arise, like what Leela said, and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's so freeing. I remember there were times in my past where I remember writing about the resentments and the stories and then praying and, pray for the, and I don't even have to, this transcends everything that the character innocently was doing for many years. It just transcends it straight to this, right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Like,
just
what?
becomes
Yeah.
impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, it's like being born every timeless moment. It's just like,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen before. Nothing happened before. That's the wildest part. I was telling Michael and Leela just at the grocery store. It's just so obvious this isn't happening, and all I can say is, "This is fucking crazy. That's crazy. It's just so crazy. What the hell?"
I get those moments too. Oh man, it's so surreal.
It's wild, and it's so obvious. You're not the body. You're not the character in the movie. You're not even in the movie. And the movie's not even happening. So just like when you're driving somewhere and you're like focused on a daydream or talking or something, and you arrive at the destination, you're like, how did I even get here? I don't even remember driving.
Yeah.
There's been really where I'm like focusing. I'm so in the I'm so basking in the conscious presence that the character Jenny was having a conversation with someone, but it can't hear. There's no listening to anything it's saying, but then there's noticing every now and then that Jenny is talking. She's responding. She's like, "Oh yeah, wow, wow, that's awesome." And then there's no listening. There's no hearing the words. It's bizarre. And so it's just one of those obviousnesses that you're not in the body and the body's just autopilot doing its thing. You have not, you're the pure totality, the pure awareness from which everything's appearing, disappearing. And all the objects, just like the character Jenny, are an illusion, a dream. It's just like,
There's no listening to anything that it's saying. It's so funny.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy though. It's just doing its thing. It's just like you don't have to have a thought. You don't have to, like, I can switch thoughts off for the whole day if I want. I don't have to have a thought. The character just does the stuff. It's so funny how we used to be so reliant or thinking we had to think, which was just a thought, but you are the totality of the functioning. It's like it's doing itself regardless of anything. And thought has nothing to do with it anyway.
Thought thought acts like a jealous boyfriend that says you need me.
Oh no, you didn't.
Don't
I'm breaking up with you.
don't even think about not coming back to me, says
Oh,
thought, because it doesn't
That's
want you to
sweet.
find out the truth.
I know it's such a sneaky, playful, mischievous way to hide from yourself, from the absence of the character, because it's too obvious without thought that you're not the character. You're not the
it's so clever how it tricks you and into seeking. And that's the very thing that keeps you from seeing this is that running around mechanism.
it's
I will,
playful.
yeah, it's like you don't really want to wake up in a way.
Yeah, like you're like
Unconscious.
Jack says, mischievously not wanting to look at yourself and distracting. It's just playful. Because I like it when it was becoming too obvious, like I mentioned, there was noticing a playful trying to have a worry or trying to have a thought to resist. And it was like, oh, you so sneaky. That's how you were hiding, you silly.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see that.
Do you remember that show back in the 70s? I don't know how old you guys are. Get Smart. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah, I love that show.
The thoughts are, he'd come up like, how about this? How about this? How about this? You know, like it'll just, it's like pop-ups in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like that.
Trying to get the attention.
Well, when there's that initial misidentification of misidentifying the pure consciousness without thought, with this pure aliveness, this pure sentience, with solely being the avatar, the body, with the thoughts. That's when it was objectifying everything. It was objectifying the awareness. It was claiming that this is, the sentience that I feel is just the body, which makes me the subject and everything else the object. When
Mhm.
everything's the subject, everything's that pure consciousness. And there is no body, there are no separate objects. It's all just this pure, radiant aliveness.
Mm.
Yeah, here it was seen that thoughts give the impression that they make something happen. So that was questioned here. Like if I
Mm.
want to take a sip of my morning coffee, do I need a thought?
Mm-mm.
Which is like a 7 second delayed overlay.
Well, that's stunning. You
Yeah.
realize you can go about, the body knows how to shower, go to the bathroom. It's all it knows it. You're not doing anything.
Takes care of
Just,
itself really well.
hmm
It'll come up, the thoughts will come up and label it, or even a decision that this body, sometimes uh, the thoughts will bring up a decision uh, that the body needs to do, and then when that time comes, it doesn't even do it. Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't do it. So it's labeling and assuming, and yeah,
That's so playful. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an attitude here like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I can make plans and say I'm gonna make this video and stuff like that. It may never happen. Um,
hmm Yeah, it's so funny how the thought is singular and then it didn't even happen. So then the body is just appearing to do like in a dream, it's just
mhm.
spontaneously appearing to happen. And it has nothing to do with the thought prior because there was no thought prior.
Have you ever noticed in any of your dreams where you'll be in some scenario and you'll think, "Oh, I hope this don't happen," and then it happens right after that? Does that ever happen to you?
premonition, dreamer.
No, it's just a regular dream, and I'm not lucid, and I and
hmm
I'm thinking, "Oh, I hope this don't happen," and then it happens right after that
Oh,
In the,
funny.
in the dream.
in a dream. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
I never knew. Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I've had an awakening in a dream before. It was so funny. Like all of this stuff that we're talking about, and then there was that sudden recognition is like the mirror turning on itself in the dream, and the same, sensations are the same, of the recognizing and and then it was like a lucid dream, which this is, lucid dream.
I had an awakening in a dream. It was bizarre. It was during the time that I figured out during seeking that it wasn't going to be in the thoughts. So I started being very vigilant about sense perceptions. And I got to where I was like almost constantly there, just like in that suspended place of kind of like when you ask a koan, but there's no answer and you're just there. And I guess I was doing it so much that I dreamed about it. And I was in the dream, I was doing laundry on the bed and I was um, inquiring without words, sort of staring at the bed and stuff and being like, what is this?
hmm
And then the portal opened up and I went into like out of the matrix into this like beautiful cosmic space, and there everything that I imagined was coming true, and it was manifesting, and
Cool.
I saw that that was what was going on. And anyway, it was a really cool dream.
That is cool. I love.
I had the dreams that I would have throughout the years that I preference loved was dreams of flying. And I can remember several times during the dream, it just felt so good to just, all I had to do is close my eyes in the dream and just will myself. And I'm like in trees, I'm flying through trees, and it was as if I was another entity or something, but it felt like home. And I would wake up and I'm like, wow, this was, before the seeing, when I can look back now, it was like there would be a sadness when I'd wake up. It's like I remember this place. I know
Mm.
this. And it could be a metaphor of this because I know this place.
Yay.
But yeah.
How beautiful. Home sweet home that never left you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You, the illusion is that you ever left home.
Yeah, which was just that outsourcing or objectively, you know,
Mm.
identifying that pure sentience that you can't deny right now. You feel it. That's it. And it's beyond words. It never dies. It's eternal. It's what's with you all the time. And it was just an innocent claiming, which was just a thought or a belief, which is just, you know, an innocent resonance and bringing evidence of that it was outside. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've been this all along. What the hell? I've always been home. And that's why it feels familiar. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell? Oh shit, oh snap. I was identifying that, which I am, this is the totality that's permeating, illuminating everything on dancing on the screen, with just solely being this temporary avatar that's, it's just an appearance, it's just an illusion. It comes and goes, it's unreliable, it's temporary, and you are the permanent.
I think Michael was doing a meeting. I was listening to it. I think it was a Wednesday night on permanence and impermanence. And the permanence is this changelessness, the here-ness, this beingness. It doesn't have a name. And the impermanence, I could say it's just feelings, thoughts, sensations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of these appearances that appear and disappear. And that's when it's like, oh my gosh, that is this. So that sentience, that pure conscious presence is everything, and there is nothing. There are no separate objects on the screen. It's like so then it's even saying, you're pervading everything is, it sounds separate because it's even more intimate than that, more close than that. It's like there's not even a word for that. So yeah, it's just enveloping and
Well, isn't that it? There,
mm-hmm,
there, there isn't even a word
mm-hmm.
for what you are, full stop.
Yeah,
And all words are it.
yeah.
So paradoxical, isn't it? It's just so paradoxical.
And not even paradoxical, but it's singular.
Mm.
So it's like the relative is the absolute. It's just all absolute.
Yeah, the paradox is whole.
Mm. Wow, that's beautiful. Love that.
Singular.
Mm. The same.
One mind.
Not more here than there.
Mm.
Equally valuable.
Completely meaningless.
Unconcerned.
Mm. Impersonal.
And all inclusive
Mm-hmm.
of the personal.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I had a comment about that, Leela, about related to something I noticed yesterday when Leela and I were sharing like childhood trauma stories. And the crying that came up here, which was not a little, it was a tidal wave,
Mm.
felt
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll tell you what it felt like. It felt like when it initially happened, and they actually, I'm not really going to go into detail, but they actually had somebody with me. Just he didn't talk, he's just with me, just to make sure I was okay, like just to calm. And I never really fully processed the experience. It like I realized yesterday that it was sort of intellectually processed, like, oh yeah, well, everybody has trauma, so you know, shut up and just get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out yesterday, and it's just a story, but because of my love and compassion now that say wasn't there back then, I actually felt empathy for the Michael character having
Mm-hmm.
to go through that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what,
Beautiful.
The only thing that keeps us from having love and compassion for ourselves and others is the belief in agency.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody blames a baby for crying,
Yeah.
you know,
Beautiful.
because they're empty. And once you see your own emptiness, you
Yeah.
can't not love, you know,
Oh, I know.
regardless.
Total compassion, total in loveness.
It's so funny when I was seeking, I would try to practice unconditional love. And this may be a bold, statement or a conclusion, but I don't care. I don't think unconditional love is possible without seeing that no one's here or
Oh,
there.
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Of course, it is everything already, that love. So of course we're made out of the stuff. We can never be out,
Mm-hmm.
away from it or apart from it. But
Yeah.
practically speaking, we can have the experience of seeing it or not seeing it.
Yeah, when it's recognized, when you recognize that you are this all inclusive and loveness, which includes everything and it includes excluding. Yeah.
Mm.
It's almost terrifying how much it's, the unconditionality. It's anything goes.
Yeah. Anything flies.
But it was always like that. It was just my resistance against the things that I thought shouldn't be happening was the
Mm-hmm.
suffering. When it's all allowed, when you see it
Mm-hmm.
unfettered.
And I also looked at everything with such awe, even the story when it was recognized that that never happened. I never even had a life that I'm God dreaming this and none of this is even fucking happening. I remember looking at all of it like, holy shit, I appeared as all those fucking sideshow carnival freaks in the fucking story to wake my ass up from the dream. And
Yeah.
I was so grateful for all of it. I was like, wow, how beautiful. And that's how it shakes shit up. It's so intelligent and fucking amazing. You know, it's like just like the nightmare at night. Like that's how it wakes you up.
Seeing it from a different perspective, seeing the character at a different perspective. That compassion that Michael was talking about. It's like, yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. I have a really good friend of mine who's on this pathless path, if you will, and I said the same thing to her. I said, "Oh my God, none of this ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just memories of the character." But yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
And the memories are always fresh and new.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see them differently depending on where you are energetically. So it's almost like you changed the past in a way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're new and changeable and malleable, and they didn't even happen. It wasn't from a past event. It's just a new information arising immediately.
so true.
It's
Yeah,
so cool.
you can almost like the innocence, the way it feels here. So imagine there's just consciousness, right? That's all that there is. That's you. And, after a few millennium,
Mhm.
you might want all of a sudden like to create.
You want what? Say it again.
You have the urge appears
Mm-hmm.
to create a mirror of yourself. If you could paint yourself with living this. So now it's free to, look at the variety of species.
Yeah. Yeah, and as the infinite unseeable, you can see yourself. It's a mirror.
We
Like
are the perfect medium.
like you see yourself in everything.
Mm.
So like I carry before our Zoom, I was about to jump in the shower and there was a spider coming down the bathtub on the mat.
Hmm.
And I just like didn't have time to argue with him. So I just picked up the whole mat, opened the front door, tossed him out, and then did my shower.
Yeah. Sweet.
Because you just have this you start having compassion when you wouldn't think you would. Like suddenly the homeless person is you. And so instead of looking away or having an internal conversation like, come on, get a job, you suddenly you suddenly see yourself in through their eyes.
Hmm. Beautiful.
And there's even compassion for things that come up that you don't prefer. That's would have been considered personal before. Like the crying that we were talking about. There's compassion for that.
Hmm.
Mm. A
Like
lot of compassion.
I feel like crying doesn't really get talked about much at non-duality meetings, and
Yeah.
certainly not men crying.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to cry.
Yeah, I was just sharing with a friend today about that, that the rawness, like the emotions were always raw here, if I really want to be honest. But it was raw, but with the attention on the story of it, there was more attention on the story, and then there came a resistance, like what Michael had said. I never, the way he said it, I never could put words to it, but there would be anger, there would be sadness, and then there would be a story about it, and then there would be a sensation, or sometimes it wouldn't even be words, but a feeling like you shouldn't be crying. And so
Hmm.
it made the experience, the thisness of that a moment of sadness or anger, uncomfortable. And well, it still is uncomfortable, but it made it much more solid. And
Mm-hmm.
and there was an avoidance of it because there was so much attachment to the thought process or the
Yeah.
worry about it, and believing it, and then there is like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, and what, that whole kind of, and now it's just yeah, the rawness of the crying, like I had shared before, it's just so beautiful to just sit and feel. Yeah, the story's back here, but there's more of a rawness that now it's just like thisness is just feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the warmth, the burning sensation in the eyes, and it's actually pleasurable, like a
Yeah.
peaceful
Yeah,
feeling.
there's no difference between pleasure and pain. It's the same in personal sensations. Yeah.
It's
Indira?
like,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to comment on what you just said because it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to say, with the imagery that came here when you were talking, was like imagine the two parents representing the different modes. So you hurt yourself and you're crying. You go running in the house, and your father's reaction is shh, shh, don't cry. And your
Oh,
mother,
yeah.
your
Mm-hmm.
mother doesn't say a word. She just hugs you.
Oh, I know.
Like an instant embracing, and without words, there's something here that's embracing that, and there, it's like it's not that bad after it's done. It's like, see,
Mm-hmm.
hey, but yeah.
That's the divine feminine, we could describe it as that. Um,
Mm.
it's sort of a brutal just acceptance of how this feels, and
Mm-hmm.
it's no longer guilt about guilt. I feel guilty because I feel guilty. It's just guilt, full on. Or you're not ashamed that there's shame. It's just when a shame arises, it's pure shame.
Yeah. Raw and naked. It's uninhibited. There's no one trying to, when the doership or the claiming of doership, which is just a thought, you know, is seen for what it is, everything's allowed to just be.
And
But
dear,
yeah,
I'll have to send you Angelo's latest video. He's talking about the divine feminine and Kali and the feeling
Mm-hmm.
and everything. It's
Oh
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, I loved
fuck
that.
around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You're right.
We were on the same radio station because I just clicked on it and I was about to send it to y'all, and then I saw that you had already posted it. It was
Oh
so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Buddha. That's why, I guess that's why he started laughing like crazy, because he's like, and then he started eating. He's like, what difference does it make? It doesn't even matter. Uh,
Hmm.
Look at the Buddha.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's that initial like misidentification, just like in the story of in the dream of the beautiful, the look in the baby newborn's eyes, that pure awareness without thought, which is just that pure I am, the feeling I am without thought, which is just indescribable, pure consciousness. And then, whenever in the story, 3 years old, when it was like you listened to your parents, and it was just a thought, it was just identifying with the thought, I am the body, I am, Jenny. And then it's just piling up all of these thoughts, which is just this identification of I'm this, I'm that, and I have this problem, and this disability and these things, um and so that every time that alarm system went off, and you can look back and see how that fear was just alarming. It was just saying, no, you're not that. There's just an innocent misidentification, but it's just the beautiful game of hide and seek. It's all playful and stunning and not even happening. It's just wild. But those like conditionings that come on that are just thoughts that shame behaviors and the identification with the behaviors. it's funny because like when I've been releasing with the tears, like the characters just crying, and it's over something like, you know, sentimental or whatever, or even the beauty of all of this, you know, this dream, or even whatever's, you know, coming up, that all it is just integration or homecoming. Because when you focus on the sensation without thought, it dissolves everything, it destroys everything. And it's like malware in the computer, just like destroying it. But my son, my youngest, every time, and it's just like a habit or like a program in the computer or something, but he'll say, "What's wrong, Ma? Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm just like implying it's not okay to cry. And every time I'm like, no, this is total perfection, this is total perfection, you
Mhm.
know. And it's just like, it's just happening, it's just releasing or whatever, you know. So it's beautiful how innocent that is. And
Yeah.
And everything feels so intuitional, doesn't it, you guys? Like it's like right here, you know, there's no words to describe it, but it feels very like intuitional. Like,
yeah, it is intuition.
you know, it's
Everything is, yeah, is intuitive.
Mhm.
does it feel right, you know, and it just there's a spontaneous action to either move away or to stay.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, it's just doing itself. It's just function, appearing to function. And it's just intelligence. It's, yeah.
At a certain point when we're growing up, when we're kids, we develop the ability to have a psychological continuum in our mind, which creates memories and it pulls past and future in fantasy here, and it creates time basically.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like the movie film strip, piecing the scenes together is one movie. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is more like flow and less like a continuum.
Hmm.
It's more like a chaotic flow.
Yeah, timeless, immediate.
How wonderful it can be messy. It can be chaotic. It doesn't have to always be peaceful or it's just that's the freedom of this. Even though there's no one being free, it's just it's a freaking relief, guys.
Yeah,
It's a relief.
It's a freaking relief.
it is.
Yeah, it's the all-inclusivity of our message. That's what I feel makes the four of us.
Hmm.
Do feel like a unicorn because
Yeah.
it's such a that I mean that's radical. It's all-inclusive is the radicality.
Hmm.
It's radically all-inclusive, so it doesn't leave shit out.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't leave out the word awareness or
Nothing.
consciousness. Yeah.
Nothing. It's so inclusive. It's not even
Hmm.
funny.
Yeah,
Thank
just like Leela said, all words are the name of God. Yeah,
Oh,
mm, thank
all
you.
words.
Like Jenny said, if there's no one here, there's no one anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Mm.
when there's no me anywhere. There's
And there's no mistakes.
hmm
It's
total
just
perfection.
feels feels different and yet the same.
And you want all of it.
oh,
Yeah.
Nom 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 nom. It's delicious. All of this.
yeah. There's like a love here that was never here before when other people were like caught up in stories. Like there's no need to correct them or change them. It's sort of like just listening to them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the listening does all the work. Like you ever had someone talk to you and then you just basically listened. You may have interjected here or there, and then after, oh, thank you. Thank you for talking. I feel so much better. And you didn't say anything. You're just a good listener.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to be able to be with somebody without the filter of right and wrong. And
Hmm. That is unconditional love. It's just like a mother's lap, like being nursed.
Like servicing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so natural, Mila. What you just said, that just feels, it was always here to do that, you know. So it's, I can remember the conditioning starting at a very early age where I would laugh and hug people, and then all of a sudden the mind came in and said you shouldn't be hugging. And it's like it's like being a child again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So I said that Wednesday night that that 5-year-old that I loved being never went anywhere.
Yay.
5-year-old is still here right now. It just got covered up with all the bullshit.
Yay. Yes. Free to play. Mm-hmm.
Free to do anything. That's the boundlessness. Like, what is in your heart? That's why, like, the three of us have been working on this project, and it's just joy, and it takes as long as it takes. And
Yeah.
we're learning as we
And
go.
it's effortless. No one's doing it. It's just doing itself. It's amazing.
That's beautiful, guys.
Yeah, how fun. It is fun. It's playful and yeah, the hugging that you were talking about, Indira, I when this was recognized, which is it's always been this, and it was like, holy shit, what was covering it up? What the hell? It's always been this. But
Mm.
there was this initial like wanting to hug everyone I saw, even in a restaurant, like just being in love with all of it. It's like it's all one. It's all one and just for fun.
Yeah.
I feel so honored to be you guys' friend.
Me too.
Aw, y'all are my besties. Yay.
Oh, you guys too.
Yay.
The the family that I always wanted.
Oh, sweet. Hmm.
Do you feel like guys that there's been like an inspired meetings? Do you feel like there's been kind of a subtle change in your Zoom meetings, much more uh, like a warmth?
Hmm.
Yeah, this is where I kind of ask you guys like what you see, because as they know, Jenny and Leela, I'll often, well, what'd you think? Like, I think it went well. So here there's sort of an innocence, like I don't really know what's happening at the meetings. It just seems like I hung up and go, wow, that felt amazing. But so I kind of asked them for their feedback. Like, what do you see happening at this meeting? Because like it's almost like I'm too close.
It just feels comfortable and warm.
Hmm. All inclusive.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't get that with every speaker.
Yeah.
Some places you get the attitude of, well, that's not it. This is it.
Yeah. So then it's contradicting that it's unconditional
Hmm.
Yes.
or all inclusive. It's saying, yeah, they're saying it's unconditional, but here's this condition.
Which is still
Hmm.
It's innocent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's saying that this isn't it already, just as it is.
Hmm.
Hmm.
How do you see people if there's no one there?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah. There's no one to convince. There's no world to change. Yeah.
Well, you're only ever talking to yourself.
Yeah. That's why, um, the
the
other day I was saying, there was a speaker who said that someone else was half baked, but innocently, without a doer, that speaker was speaking about itself and projecting
Yes.
because they would have to be a resonance with being half baked and then projecting it and seeing it on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
So then the so then I was like, yeah, when there's no me, there's no me anywhere.
Yeah.
There is no one that's enlightened or not enlightened. And
Yeah.
Who is to claim that? And who cares? What the hell?
Yeah.
I see awakeness everywhere. This is
Yeah.
play.
All there is pure consciousness. Yeah.
It's like a celebration when we meet up
Yeah. It
and
is.
allowing what arises to arise,
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a troll and we'll kick them out.
I was telling Michael, I've never exterminated my whole life. Like I allow bugs and everything to come in the house, but trolls, I have an exterminator for that. Like just like bullies on the playground, dude. I didn't put up with that shit when I was little. Yeah. I'd always stand up to the bully or defend the one being bullied or not.
Oh,
And that's all included too. That's beautiful. There's no doer, but it's like there's, still preference. It's like I'm not down with hanging with those high entropy vibes.
we can honor the preferences that arise here. I mean, that's it.
Mhm.
Full on humanness.
I like that, honoring the preferences. Yes.
Mm.
And they're best when they're impersonal, It's just like anything goes.
Mhm. Yeah. It's amazing how this just swallows everything. This when it's seen, when it's recognized, when the misidentification has dissolved or whatever, and it's seen that this is all this feeling of I am, this sentience, this aliveness, this pure consciousness, from which the mentally projected images are dancing, that it's all one, it's all whole and complete. That I don't even remember what I was about to say.
Cool.
Yeah, well, that was it. That sums it up.
Gorgeous.
I love
Indira,
how I can feel when that's about to happen.
Yeah, that
so
happens
we're
to
so
me.
It's
lucky.
just a blank slate. It's like,
Indira, I wanted to mention about intuition. Is
Mm.
that sort of like when I meet people now, like it gets quiet here, and I'm just these are just words, but I almost like notice I feel into them. So
Mm.
like they're talking, they're telling, I'm meeting them, and there's just like not so much chatter analyzing. It's just feeling them. Where,
Mm.
first of all, like what mood are they in?
Mm.
Where are they coming from? Are they amped up? Are they tired? Are they what's the vibe of the energy coming at me?
yeah, I can scan everything immediately, even remotely. It's crazy. You can, yeah, very sensitive, very intuitive.
Mm.
That navigation system is just, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, remember Jenny and I were talking about it. And we were trying to come up with a name for this intuition, and we really couldn't. But we both agreed. She goes, "It knows."
It's a good one.
Yeah, there's the name. I love it.
So that's not personal. The it knows.
Hmm.
It's when I think I know that I, get into the weeds,
Yeah,
as they say.
Mm.
this totality appearing to function. It's just pure intelligence.
Yeah, there's memories of this intuition has been here for a very, if I really reflect on past experiences, uh, I it was just so the alarm was loud but ignored. Even that was okay, right? So it was like, and it's like because there was just so much identification with stories and people pleasing and identification with that's not right, a denial of what was happening at that time here. I can look back and see that, and again, it couldn't have been any other way. And now it just feels it's still here. It was here the whole entire time. It just you know it's not it's not cascaded with the attention of thoughts with it. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like I remember somebody talking about like feeling like walking like an empty shell. Somebody was mentioning that in one of the meetings. And it just feels like that's what it feels like here. Sometimes it's very hard to describe, but
Mm.
um, it's like a radar, woo, like everywhere the body goes, and there's just like this okayness to just spontaneously move where it needs to move. Or,
Mm-hmm.
or like I said,
Yeah,
away.
that's so cool. Yeah. In the dream, it's like a radio station, and there's a resonance, like a frequency, like dialing in and then rendering evidence of. So that's all this imaginary play, projecting, mentally projecting, and only as limited as there's a resonance to be. It's like it's so malleable and healable. It's like once you see you're limitless, it deletes the hard drive of limitation. And that it's just so open and fucking infinite, and you can see through everything. You can see how the game works and how the rules of the riddle. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like Nisargadatta said, it's like once you recognize you're the Pada Brahman, the mysteries of the universe are revealed to you, the secrets, all the secrets.
Yeah.
It's like you can see how it works and how playful it was. And how the imagination renders per resonance. And so you can basically bring evidence of anything.
Mm.
It's all the sugar pill or the placebo.
Mm.
It's almost like what I was searching for was made of glass, like a giant piece of glass, and you're looking through the glass for what you're searching for. And you have your nose right up against the glass, and you don't realize it is the glass. So you're
Yeah.
looking through the glass to find it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
Analogy, metaphor.
like a
Mm.
fish searching for water.
know, I was just about to say that one. And that I wrote down this morning, trying is denying.
Mm,
Because, like, that trying is the pretend hide and seek. Because you can't try. It's just effortless. You already are. Everyone knows that they are.
And it's the
Case
resistance.
closed. It's already done.
It's the resistance as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
mhm. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a mind blower.
resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trying is resistance. It's implying that it's separate or implying that it's somewhere else. And it can't be. But
Yeah,
that's just paying attention to a thought.
exactly, because there's no trying in already.
Mm-hmm.
Trying is suffering if it's already.
It's effortless. This is
Yeah.
effortless.
Yeah.
So when you stop looking, that's when you find it. When you, just like the analogy, you chase it, it runs away. You run
Love
away from
that.
it, it chases you because you
I,
are it.
I've
I
said
mean,
that,
how funny is that?
Jenny, I've said that to Leela several times. I've quoted
Yeah.
Hmm.
you because I keep seeing examples of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted best friends, never had any, stopped looking, boom.
And then boom, yeah, non-resistance. I made a video about that. I was like, it can be seen as like a game of non-resistance, because like once it's recognized and the resistance is, gone. It's like the pulling back the slingshot, and hits the target.
It was like just making the prison more comfortable.
Mm.
Just,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I did a Albert Einstein quote video yesterday, and here's one of them. He said, "Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
Hmm.
That is really,
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's beautiful because I was saying to someone, I don't remember, but that seems to what I think
Mm.
when Leela and I were talking yesterday, there's no longer a division between duality and non-duality.
Mm.
They're the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
everything's the same.
yeah, there's no
No
division.
paradox.
So it doesn't compute anymore. This is non-dual, this is dual. What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say them in practical terms, to make a point. It's this wholeness is free to do that, to play in subject object. Mm.
Hmm.
It's too immediate. I was about to respond to you, Michael, and I totally forgot what you said and what I was about to say. It like really didn't even happen. Yeah.
I couldn't see the beauty. Like, I'm just staring at you three. Actually, I want to say I'm staring at you four, because it's like I see all of
Hmm.
this is beautiful. The Michael
Yeah.
era, the Ginny, I'm like going, how is this? Look at these beings.
Yeah, I know how. It's amazing. That childlike wonder. It's like, wow.
I find these meetings so grounding. Don't you guys feel it? Every time I do a meeting here with you guys, it
Mm-hmm.
just feels so grounding. I love it.
It is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day.
Right? It's
I'll
love,
just bask.
it's love's revolution.
Yay. It's the love revolution. Mm.
Anybody want to take us out with anything?
Take us out. I'm about to pull out a gun. Pow, pow. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you guys.
I would just say that whatever it is that's arising, that's it too. It's that.
Mm-hmm.
As
All
it's not
inclusive.
wanting it to be there is also it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's
The
nothing.
doubt, this isn't it. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, this was beautiful. Mm.
Yay.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Wow.
Beautiful.
Thank you, ladies. Love
Mwah.
every second. Mwah.
Amazing. Yay.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You
Too.
too. Bye,
Bye,
friend.
guys.
Bye.